Ning from Ranosys. I'm here with Mr. Barnet, Senior Manager at Magento. So, sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the introduction. Good afternoon, everybody. Today I'm here to talk about the site-wide analysis tool. And there we go. A little bit about me. You can read through it. The main thing is just that top line. Senior manager here. I work with Magento Customer Engineering. I am the SWAT product owner, the chief designer, and the current SME on the product. All the rest of it at this point is just irrelevant. It's there for you if you'd like to read. The point of this session today is basically to get an overview of SWAT, and SWAT stands for Site-Wide Analysis Tool. And at the end of this session, my goal is that you'll know what SWAT means, what the purpose of it is, why we built it, how it works, how do you use it, how can you access this tool to better your site, and then how can you use it to fix your site when the tool finds issues. Those are the main objective learnings today. So, bottom line, what is SWAT? SWAT is Magento's continued initiative to drive customer success. What we did is 20 months ago, we started writing scripts based on best practices to find issues and present recommendations to those issues that are found on a site. The site now, SWAT now monitors your site 24/7. What does the tool provide? We have built a self-service single pane of glass dashboard for the analysis and the instrumentation that we find. We've taken the best understandings, the best practices from support and from product, and passing that knowledge on to you, the customer. How do we do it? Again, we've created a unified dashboard. It's individualized based on the customer, and it covers these pillars: performance, functionality, availability, and security. We provide proactive recommendations. The minute we see something, the recommendation is generated and put up on our UI. It's always on and it's always available when you need it. So the bottom line, it's a customer site information, analysis, and instrumentation. It's a single pane of glass, self-service ability on a dashboard. So, bottom line here, what do we do? All right, we monitor the site constantly. The least amount of time is about an hour. We run about an hour behind your site. We scan for known issues and/or bugs, and we've automated the support workflow inside our tools such that SWAT integrates and interfaces with the support desk ticket system. Now, behind the scenes, you don't have to worry. If a ticket comes in, SWAT's there watching. If we see something in SWAT, it's generating tickets to L1. What is SWAT built on? It's built on performance limitations of Magento based on your environment, offering best practices based on the issues we find and the best performance recommendations. Based on the pillars, this is what we do: the performance, the functionality, the availability, and the security. All this information is pulled in, it's scripted, we analyze it, it gets dumped into our database. None of this is done on a customer site. It's all internal in our own environment, and we present it up on a clear, concise UI that folks internal to Adobe Magento and external can now get at this information. So how does it work? As I stated, we collect data from everywhere. We have over 20 systems currently integrated. It comes into the SWAT database. We have scripts that are constantly in motion, analyzing data as it's put in, and it's presented up on the UI. Where does this data come from? It's aggregated from the customer site itself, the production environment. We grab information out of New Relic. We grab information out of Fastly. We grab information out of Zendesk, which is the support desk ticket system, the marketplace, and these among many other systems. These scripts then analyze the data and its point in time, what happened at this particular instance, and that's how we find the recommendation based on the issues that we find. What does it do? End-to-end diagnostics, not only the application, but also the tech stack that runs the application. We analyze it, we tell you what you could do better or how to configure it better. And the environment is completely PCI compliant. We have passed every Adobe compliance standard, both the audit, the security, the application, and the network. So you know that your data and our data is secure in its presentation. So what is SWAT? It's basically a UI. It's a user interface. You'll see a picture of the main dashboard here, and we'll get into a little bit that in just a few moments. Excuse me. But what does it do? What does it provide you? It's augmented self-service. Come to SWAT before you put that ticket in. We offer best practice resolutions and links to online resources and documentation to help you through the issue. It's an individualized dashboard for each customer. We present 30 plus customer dynamic pieces of information: SKUs, products, attributes and rules, components, the big thing, the service tech stack, the versions and support dates. We let you know if some of your tech stack is getting out of date or is close to the end of life. We give you a warning so that you can plan for it and project management so that your site stays up and compliant. We have over 80 issue checks. P0 to P4 is their notification. P0 is critical. Your site's headed for potential outage or potential slowness. To P4, notification. When and if you have time, great to look at these. It's not hurting your site, but here's how to make your site more interesting for your visitors. What this presents is the issues that we find, the best practice recommendations, the current site impact, the root cause. How did this issue come up? Expected results once you fix this issue. And are there any preconditions that you must do? Is there something that you have to do prior to fixing this issue on your site? For example, you may have an old version of ECE tools. Get them updated, then let's go fix the issue. We analyze log file exceptions. We not only pick up the error itself, but the frequency. We represent the frequency as how many times in a 24-hour period, whether it's once or hundreds of times. The date of it occurred, the last date that we saw it. So for example, we will present the last 30 days of log exceptions. You may have had it once 20-something days ago, but it's something that needs to be looked into. We give you the path to the module that's causing or throwing the exceptions, whether it's internal custom code, third-party code, or Magento itself. We analyze third-party extensions as well as third-party libraries. We not only sit and show you what's there, but we actually figure out what version. Are you on the current version? What support dates? Is this version even supported anymore? And then the big thing is what do you have installed versus what do you have enabled? There is a distinction. Installed means it's on your instance. Enabled means you're using it. There are some instances where the extensions or libraries are installed. They're using vital resources for your Magento application, but they're not enabled. They're sitting there taking up space, memory, CPU, and doing nothing for you. We tell you which ones they are, as well as do you need to update the version of it. We have recently hooked in Magento Managed Alerts. We've integrated this. These are the performance alerts that are created by the core engineering, Magento core engineering team, the performance section, and they have generated these alerts that I highly recommend that you set up and get notifications. How to set up your internal notifications is on the dev docs. Please go look it up, get these notifications turned on. They are critical. Disk space, memory, CPU usage, throughput usage. We've also, as stated here, we've integrated these alerts right onto our SWAT dashboard as well. So now you have two places that you can see this alerting. We've recently hooked in the quality patch tool. What this is as there are patches developed for specific versions, we actually present them on a clear, concise tab on the UI that you'll see here on the right. There are three types. One is required, depending on your version, required to get around issues that have been found in the core engineering. Custom, these are custom-made modules to get around certain conditions that have not yet been programmed into Magento and or that outside customers and or partners have programmed, and we've noticed an issue interfacing with the Magento app. These are custom type patches. And then we have optional patches, and you need to read through these. We present them, read through them. Do these affect your business? If not, don't have to install them. If you see something that has something to do with how your business model is or your business logic, we highly recommend that you get these optionals installed as well. And lastly, we have outage information. If your site experiences an outage or an extent of slowness, SWAT is notified through the infrastructure, and we automatically start pulling data. This data gets collected and sent right to our L2 engineering support in the form of a ticket that this particular site is having problems. Please investigate. As well, there's an on-demand feature, and unfortunately, this is just internal use. The on-demand feature actually allows the L2 engineer, if they need another snapshot, and or possibly including your database to analyze what may have gone wrong or what is going wrong, they can do it instantaneously. What used to take 20 or 30 hours of research, we do instantaneously now with a push of a button or collect it automatically once we get an alert that there's something going on. This outage information is completely integrated into an internal system called Sparta, as well as integrated with our Zendesk or our support desk ticket system. So the SWAT portal, how do I get to this thing? Big question. It is currently Magento Commerce Cloud, production environment, pro and starter only. I will get to the other environments we are expanding to here shortly. It's available with version v241 and higher. You must be on 241 and higher to be able to get access online real-time to the UI. If you're not, I will explain how you can get what's called a SWAT report through your CSM or through the L1 engineering team. From your Magento admin panel, this should be near and dear and quite familiar to most of you. You click here, you go to reports down in the lower left. You will see a new feature here called System Insights. You will see in yellow there, site-wide analysis tool. This is a brand new feature. This is in 2.4.1. To be able to use this feature, all admins on your site must have a new role called SWAT added to them. This allows them to access the SWAT UI. Without that, they will not be able to get in. This is basically controlled by the customer, by the actual customer account owner, who can get in and who cannot. It's not an immediate opt-in feature. Purposely done so because the customer and or the partner needs to control access of who has what. Once you click on that, you will then get to this dashboard. You will see this is just the main page of it, but what you can see is there's a main dashboard here. Basically the name over here. If you'd like to generate a report, great. We actually show you your health index. It's a score of 0 to 100. 0's bad, 100's good. Anything above 0.75 is considered extremely good. And the closer you get to 100, the better off your site is as far as performance, functionality, availability to your visitors, as well as your secure. There are some features up top here. You'll be able to see we designate who's on, i.e. when I took this snapshot, you'll see my name, Barnet Hellman. Next to it, there is a feedback button. I bring this to everybody's attention. That is a direct link to me. You pop that, it pops open a dialog box, you fill it out, and it ends up in my inbox 24 hours a day, and I will respond directly to you. You'll also see question marks throughout this system. The question marks are contextual help. We have built contextual help everywhere so that if you have any questions about how this tool works or why it works in a certain way, we are able to show you this. We have a notification section here on the left. It's notifications from our SWAT development team if they see something critical that we need to get out to our customers. And we are integrating the current support desk system. So as tickets open, close, pending, comments, you will see a note there in the notification section. For example, ticket XYZ opened on this date and this time, or comment added at this date and this time. To the right, you will see that this particular site has a few errors. They're noted in red. The next P1s, you'll see yellow, then we get to, orange, then yellow, then green, then just gray. You'll also see a health graph down at the bottom on this main video, on this main tab. You will notice way on the right that the line's up and down like a yo-yo. That is purposely done by our team, particularly me, because we do probably 10, 12 deployments a day. And we purposely break things to make sure that the issue checks and or the information displaying is displaying correctly. So we purposely break things, deploy, which lowers our health score. We fix them, it raises our health score. Most sites should be towards the left side of this graph where it's smooth and up and down. Oh, let me go back one. As I stated earlier, about the health score here. The health score is based on a few different things. It's the issues and the priority, P0 to P4, how many you have, how many exceptions you have, how many managed alerts do you have, how many required patches do you need to put in. The more you have, the lower your health score. So let me tell you a little bit what's new. And a little bit what's old, just so everybody's on the same page as me, is we started this project 20 months ago. It was a thought in the back of my mind with 3 developers. In the past 20 months, we've gone from writing just manual scripts that we ran literally by hand, by sight, to a full-on application product that analyzes thousands of customers an hour. We actually pull this data and it is constantly running up in our AWS environment. These 2 things that I need to point out is we've recently, this past month, 3 weeks back, we've added managed alerts as well as our patches display. You will see here on a managed alert, we will actually tell you what was going on, when the alert was opened, and then over on the right, you will actually see what the alert is and why it was called to everybody's attention. The same thing with the patches. You will see here, this particular patch is optional, but it's never been applied. The big piece, as I stated earlier, is the description. Does it apply to your business? Do you need it for your business logic? Over here on the right is further description of the patch. As you apply patches, it will turn to the word applied in the status so you can see what you've done. And to be clear, this is by specific version that you are on. Not all patches will show here. If you want to see every patch that Magento has, there is a hyperlink right here to the Magento Quality Patch Tool itself. So I mentioned this a little bit earlier. If you're not on 241 or higher, there is something called a SWAT report. It's a PDF of everything inside SWAT. You can get this through your CSM, your Customer Success Manager, or by dropping a ticket into the L1 support team. They can automatically generate it and get this thing out to you in the same ticket. what it is. It's a little bit about what your site is, what we've analyzed, and this is directly from your active production instance. And this is what basically an issue looks like. For example, an old Magento version. You'll see the description, what we found, what we expect to happen, what's the impact, the root cause, and finally, the best part of this whole thing, the recommendation. What do you do to fix this issue? And this is standard on every single issue that we find. Some issues will have step-by-step instructions where we have actually distilled the dev docs into the step-by-step instructions, so you don't have to decipher developer talk. We physically say, click here, click here, click here, change this to yes or no, change this piece of code, save, and away you go. We've added links on this as well to the dev docs, as I stated, the developer docs, the KB system, the KB articles, the knowledge base articles, user blog documentation, as well as Magento user guides. If they have an impact based on the issue that we have found, they are in this description and linked so that you can get them. We have developed some animated training videos. The guy on the right is our little icon. It's actually a caricature of my son, who's actually the voice on the training videos. Nobody liked my voice when I was scripting. These videos, there's 3 right now, an overview, an introduction, an overview, and basically detailed explanations. Over the next few months, we will have a lot more videos based on our new UI. They're actually in development now and getting through editing, and they will be posted. To find these, you need to be on the Magento support knowledge base system, and you must be authorized. You must have a valid login, ZD support login, to be able to get at this. These are not open to the public. You must be authorized. You must be a user of Magento. So, what can I tell you about our SWAT development? Since September, we've auto-delivered SWAT reports. We have a cron job, like you all know what a cron job is. And in September alone, we delivered 140 SWAT reports, to 140 customers SWAT reports. And this was based on their low health index score. We started with 0.2 or 20, and we are pushing this up to 50 now, starting in January. More customers will get it. It will end up through your support desk ticket system. We generate the ticket, you get notification. The portal integration that I just recently talked about, you must be on 2.4.1 or higher to be able to get real-time access. We integrated the quality patch system as well as the managed alerts. So where are we going now? The future, we are analyzing all staging environments, whether you have 1 or 5, it will not matter. We will actually analyze your staging environments and have issues based on your staging. The goal of this exercise is that you see the issues in your staging and fix them before a deployment. Therefore, your production site does not suffer. This should be delivered right towards the end of this current this current calendar year, or right after New Year's, depending on our QA. In January, we are going and building a historical database. If you remember a little bit earlier in my talk, I said we do point-in-time analysis. We are starting to keep historical data, and this is going to be so that we are going to build metrics for deployment versus deployment analysis, quarter versus quarter, month versus month, so you can see, is my site getting better or worse as we, the SWAT development team, add more issues to the system and check more configurations. In Q1, we are adding on-premise. We are building a client app, an extension, if you will, that will be downloaded by on-premise customers. Once you accept the install, it will start pushing data to the SWAT tool for analysis, and you will be able to get in just like our Commerce Clouds customers. We are expecting our early adopter program to be in February of this coming year. With general release, we are targeting for mid-March. We are also going to start analyzing MBI, and as well, we will be adding a security scan tab on the dashboard. That will be the security vulnerability analysis that is done. We will be showing vulnerabilities with hyperlinks to the actual detailed report. And lastly, Q2, we are going to start using SWAT to respond to tickets coming in. That's what I've got. My time's almost up. I thank you all for attending. If you do want to find out more about SWAT itself, or you want a deeper dive, contact me directly. I'm more than willing to set up appointments and walk through a deep dive. And thank you very much.
I'll be the first to set up the appointment.
Please do.
All right, I got so SWAT for now. So okay, for Q&A, we select I think 2 to 3 questions. So the first question is this SWAT only customer use Magento Cloud, or can use for customer who self-manage the Magento?
All right, so currently it is Magento Commerce Cloud, the on-premise where an actual customer hosts their own environment. That will be coming general availability, GA, January of 2021. You'll be able to download a client and install it. And we will start analyzing your site, and you will have the same access as Magento Commerce Cloud customers.
I see. All right, the second question is what type of bugs, issues SWAT shows? Does it track third-party extensions?
Oh, okay, great. We analyze disk space. We analyze deferred stock. Is it set up based on your configuration? Should you be using deferred stock? Have you set up async emails? Is your Redis set up correctly? Is your throughput going through? Do you have Magento banner turned on? And you shouldn't, because it's adding AJAX calls against your database. Gosh, you name it. We've taken probably the worst or the most egregious issues that we found inside the support desk ticket system and built scripts to analyze them. Just so you're aware, we have 81 issue checks currently. I have 150 more currently in my backlog that will take us through at least next June. And just so everybody knows, we have 4 permanent developers, a permanent manager, and we augment with cross-functional support out of core engineering. We have anywhere from 2 to 4 people augmenting our staff. So at any given time, we have 6 to 8 people working on this tool. It is ever expanding. New features occur every 2 weeks. At the end of our sprint, we go into QA and we deliver new features, and you will see them on the UI.
Wow, that is so much wow I have in mind. Wow.
This is a brainstorm among myself and 3 developers sitting around having espresso one afternoon 20 months ago, and we built this tool, and the company's now embraced it, and we have made it available to all, or soon to be all, Magento customers. We want your site to be performant, to be available, to be functional, and to be secure. We're giving you inside information to make that happen, and consequently make your visitors happy.
All right. All right. I'd like to thank Mr. Barnet for your time, and I will see you all at the next session. All right.
Thank you all. Bye now.
Thank you. Ciao. Bye-bye.